sevens, and Jersey was good. So I want to see what Beverly Hills was. That was highly rated last season.
Okay, let's talk about Renna because I'm very, very jealous. Okay, you got to spend like an hour with Renna and Harry. Tell us everything, what they smelled like, what their nails looked like. Leave out no detail.
Well, let me just say that I also saw Denise Richards the day before.
Oh, yeah, her. Okay.
Her, yeah, who cares? Um, Look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am gonna have to come out of the closet when I have Catherine Edwards back. People always think I'm in these feuds when I don't have people on the show all the time. I speak to Miss Catherine Edwards, Alison Dubois. These are my friends. Catherine, I'm gonna have to come out to her and tell her that since she's been here last, I've done a lot of soul searching, and Rinna really is my favorite housewife ever. I've said it before I saw her, so it's authentic. That Melrose Place. I went up to her and I was like, listen, let's face it, other than Beverly Hills, these housewives know who I am and they know who you are. Beverly Hills, like a couple like Denise, Rinna, you're always wondering, right? Like Erica knows who we are, but you always want like Kathy Hilton knows who we are. So I have no reason to think, right? I mean, Kathy Hilton knew who we were, girl. So
Actually shocking, yes.
shocking. So, these are the ones that matter. Like, who cares about the freaking Miami girls? Like, I mean, although I love Adriana, and I'm interested to see what Alexia does next season. But, I just didn't know. But so I went up to Rin. At first, I was like, just let's not tell her who we are. Let's have like a different kind of conversation. So it just came out right away. I said, I have a really big Bravo podcast. And then she's like, oh my God, I totally know. So she knew I had Greg McBride on, who is the writer on. She's like, oh, I know exactly who you are. You had Greg McBride on, who was the writer of Mommy Meanest. I did. And I said, and she's like, thank you. Just thank you for all that you say about me. Cause I mean, I've been to say good things about Lisa Rinna.
We're obsessed with Renna. Yes,
Obsessed.
yes.
And I said, listen, let me tell you something. I've been saying lately that you are the best housewife of all time. I said, do you have a minute, Lisa? Harry, it's great to see you too. We'll get to your thoughts in a minute. You have a minute, Lisa? I said just like this. I said, let me tell you something. I said, people don't get it. I said, you show up and do every job, you hustle. And I mean that in the best of the world. You take this job, Days of Our Lives, Melrose, you show up, you do the job, you give 100%. And when it's over, it's over. And I'm like, you showed up and did the exact job that you were hired for 8 years. And you did it really well. So I just don't think people get it. Like you did the job. I think you're the best housewife ever. I said, I'm not kissing your ass. I speak to her just like this. I said, I say this on the air all the time. And she's like, thank you. And she's like, I did. She's like, people didn't get it. But I agree with everything you're saying. And she's like, and let me tell you something. And I'm like, Jesus, because like I didn't know if she was gonna talk housewives. She's like, 8 years. That is and most people. I said, yeah. She's like, most people don't last that long. I said, absolutely. They don't. I said, she's like, so I agree with you. Most people just don't get it. And they have a lot to say, but she's like, you know what we say, David? Fuck the haters. And I say, Lisa, I say that all the time. I say that all the time. Who cares? I say, you know what? As long as the check cleared, and she's like, Amen, sister. She's like, as long as that check clears, I was like, I have the same attitude on life. I don't care if you hate me. You can hate me all day. All right. I mean, did the check clear? Now, if you're paying me and like the job is in jeopardy and you hate me, I'm nervous because you're gonna take away my pay. But short of that, and she said, listen, it's a hard job to do. It's a hard job.
Oh, I bet. I bet. All this stuff is so much harder than you think, and it's so much less glamorous than you think. And now, what did you get from her personality? Because when you meet people, everybody there's all kinds of different personalities, right? Some people are looking through you, like they're just like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you," and that you can tell they're sort of on to the next thing. Other people have that very Bill Clinton, like you're the only person on earth. Um, some people are very like insecure. What kind of vibe did you get from her?
Listen, there wasn't a lot of people around. It was like a slow down moment. Look, one could argue that now that you know who I am, there's a microphone in front of me. So I guess everything I said, like you do want a certain narrative, but I truly, truly, truly from the bottom of my heart, and I'm like a pretty good judge of character. That's one thing I'm great at. I mean, I'm suck at a lot of things in life. But this I'm good. Like I really got an authentic, like I really felt like we were actually having a real conversation. Just like she wasn't promoting herself. It was just a real conversation. Very no attitude, very calm, very
I,
relaxed,
I couldn't
not
believe how much
rushing
time
me.
she spent with. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe how much time when you told me. Like, I think you guys talked for 30 minutes or so. I was shocked at how engaged she was for that long. Being, I think, an enormous star, kind of transcending, like Bethany,
Huge.
transcending the housewife world now. And I mean, what she's done for her daughters is like Yolanda status.
I mean, that is the thing. I mean, I know everyone listening judges Denise by Housewives, Rinna by Housewives, but to me, yeah, I mean, Lisa Rinna transcends Housewives. And I just want to tell you, like, I say this on the podcast all the time, like, I get paid to talk about this. The day we go below that threshold, I will never mention like Teresa or Kyle again. Like, really ask my friends. I've told this story before on this podcast. My friend spends the winter in LA. I'm in the LA for the winter. He had his goodbye party last year when he was going back to New York. They rent the same house every year, like January, February, March. He purposely sat me at his goodbye. It was like named, seated next to housewife fans. And he's like, "You fucking hate me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking hate you." Again, book me on the weekends. Every time I say this, I get booked. It's not even being obnoxious. I will talk to you on a private Zoom about everything housewives on the weekend. And people do. I don't want to talk housewives in my real life. I talk it here because this is my job. I love my job. I'm not complaining. So I think, yes, like Rinna transcends. And where I saw her was at an event. It was like, like she's with her peers that there's a buzz of like, oh, I saw you talking to Lisa Rinna. Like, even amongst her other actress peers, there is like Rinna is an icon. She is to me like bigger than Housewives. I get it, you get it. And I said to her, listen, you're doing it right. I said,
Did
I
you
don't
ask her
yeah.
about business? I mean, I would also want to talk to her about business because she and Harry have famously said, they had really no money until she got on Housewives. I mean, they had, they got by, but
They
again,
were working.
here in Hollywood, a lot of these, the huge stars, the Brad Pitts, the Matt Damons, the Ben Affleck, of course, J Lo, they have tons of money. But these other actors and actresses on sitcoms, a lot of them, they don't make as much money as you think. She and Harry, and she tried to do a boutique. She tried to do workout videos. She did QVC. I mean, she really like it wasn't until Housewives until they really started making money to the point, like she said, I don't know, 4 seasons in, Harry never has to work again. I mean, I would sit there and say to her, okay, tell me who's your business manager now? How many businesses did you try and fail at before you got to where